Peace happens when the two sides not just stop fighting, they stop wishing to fight. You care about peace? You care about love? Finish the war. You'll save lives. But you have to use your head, not your heart. What's peace? What's peace? Right? What's the United Nations screaming peace? Israel has to stop fighting with Hezbollah, has to stop fighting with Gaza. And what does the world care about? That they should stop killing. Who's right and who's wrong doesn't matter. Who wins and who loses doesn't matter. They should stop killing. Now what's the answer? The answer is if Israel stops killing today, they're going to have to kill tomorrow more than today. And if Israel had done what they're doing now, 30 years ago, it would have been quicker and easier and been less loss of life. So the world doesn't care about the truth, cares about, like you said, the looks, how it looks. Two people are fighting, you walk into school and two kids are beating each other in the playground, you want to separate them. Now one of those kids is a sweet little boy, the other kid is an obnoxious Joshua, but two kids are fighting. And it often happens that you don't mean to, but the victim becomes victimized again because you're trying to help him. It's called a falsha sholem. Just stop fighting, right? The code word is, for those who don't speak English, ceasefire. Just stop shooting. Now, ceasefire really means build up more bombs, get more soldiers, so you can kill each other better tomorrow. But now we're not fighting, so we're happy. Because, peace. It's called a falsha sholem. It's a false peace. Now, false peace can hold. Sometimes false peace can hold for a very, very long time. Okay? Now I'm going to teach you geopolitics. Okay, I am a holoteidenik, so I'm an expert in Uli Mudichol. So I'm going to teach you. All went to high school. I'm going to teach you something that you probably learned but you never understood. I'm going to explain it to you. What is the greatest deterrent to war? Now, this deterrent. What is the greatest thing that prevents two countries from fighting with each other? So the Rebbe says always correctly, and I'm not chas v'shalom disagreeing with the Rebbe. If you want not to have to fight a war, be strong, right? But that's the truth. Now, what's the political truth? The political truth is two nations cannot fight if they have too much to lose. Which is why, think about this in common sense, rich countries are far less likely to go to war than poor countries are. Rich people are far less likely to fight with their neighbors than poor people are. Because they have too much to lose. That's the way it is. It doesn't make them better, it's just how it is. If you live in a country with a lot of wealth, and if you're a rich person in that country, and the example for this, and I don't want to have conversations, but there was a guy we call him an anti-Semite, he probably wasn't, it was Joe Kennedy. Joe Kennedy did not want to fight. Why? Because he had what to lose. Shmendek had nothing to lose, you understand? If you have a lot of money, two countries with a lot of wealth are far less likely that the false peace is going to hold stronger if there's money involved. Think about the Middle East, right? Who wants to make peace with Israel? Saudi Arabia, because they have a lot to lose. Who's happy to fight with Israel? Yemen. Why? They got nothing to lose. They're a poor country. No, it really works that way. So false peace could work, but it's not going to work because people are nice guys. You understand? False peace could work if you bribe both sides. If I have a reason not to fight. Israel does not want to fight. Why? Israel's a rich country. Israel's a peaceful country. Israel doesn't have a choice. They're fighting for their life. They're fighting against people who want to die. It's very hard. They don't care. If this is going to sound nuts, if the Arabs in Gaza and the Arabs in Lebanon had a lot of money, they wouldn't be so anxious to become members of Iran's terrorism because there's too much to lose. So a false peace could hold. It could. But the combatants have to have an ulterior motivation. You understand? So countries with wealth are far less likely to go to war than countries without wealth. People with wealth, if you have too much to lose, it's not worth to fight. People don't fight because they want to be right. People fight because they want to gain something. And if you're going to fight, and even if you win, you lost, it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. So false peace works. And false peace is a good idea. Don't misunderstand. Ceasefire. In a scenario, this is geopolitics, this has nothing to do with my minute. I should get fired for this because I'm teaching you Limudei Chol. Ceasefire. two countries saying the war is not over, but we're stopping to shoot it. Because we're not making a peace treaty, we're making a ceasefire, could hold for years, hold for centuries, for decades. If the two combatants are better served by not fighting than fighting, it could work. The problem with Israel is that when Israel ceasefires, that's a message to the Arabs that they can fight again. We're dealing with an enemy that has nothing to lose. And an enemy that you have to defeat. And the classic example of that is the Germans in World War I. For those who know the history, the Germans in World War I were not defeated. There was a ceasefire. And that's what was World War II. What had to happen in World War I was what happened in World War II, unconditional surrender. The Germans had to be defeated, and the Germans had to know they lost. That FDR, the President of the United States, said to Eisenhower, in the end of the Second World War, you make sure they lose bad. You can't just win the Germans, you have to defeat the Germans. Unconditional surrender, because the Germans had to know they lost. Because unless the Germans knew that they lost, they're going to see the ceasefire as an opportunity to fight again. That's what Israel is dealing with. Ceasefire can hold if the two sides have a lot to lose. There's room for it. But it's bluff. It's not peace. It's just not war.